So very good evening all. So welcome to SAP-ABAP online training sessions. Right. So last session we did with reporting, interactive reports we did. Right. A quick recap, interactive reports and outline selection, add user command. Then after that we saw that last session get cursor. In a get cursor, right? You don't want to click, anything on particular line. Based on the cursor, the values will fetch it, right? By using get cursor, cursor name, field name, right? Get cursor, field name. That's the syntax. And there we saw that set parameter id, right? By using the parameter id in a data element and all this stuff, right? So I hope you understood like the difference between at line selection with hide means it wherever you click in the row, it will trigger it. Whereas a get cursor, each column where you trigger it, you'll get a different output. So that's what interactive things we did. Let's move with the latest concepts, ALV reporting. Right. So in this introduction to ALV, ALV stands for ABAP List Viewer. ABAP List Viewer. It's like reporting tool. ALV it's called as a tool. Why we are calling the tool? Right. So because it is before that, to embellish the report, SAP provides the set of ALV, ABAP list viewer. It is purely function module based. That function module is SE37, right? We are depending on the standard function modules, which can be put to use embellish output of the report. So, right, much coding, less coding, and more interactive features are added in ALV report. Then in ALVs, there are some function modules, like all the predefined function modules. It starts with reuse, right? Reuse ALV is a function. Okay, reuse ALV. It starts with underscore like that. If you go and press it F4 on SE37, then you'll get list of functions related to ALV. That's what user defined internal tables, and here we have to do with the structure like types. It's called as a type group or a type pool or a type group. Here we're using slice is a function used to define the internal tables, structures, constants, and etc. Slice is a global definition of type pool, catalog, like layout and etc. You'll get it. And what exactly why we are moving this? Because in interactive report, deadline selection, we have to write a lot of logic. You don't get a column names properly. You have to adjust it, line columns and etc. Like a lot of code is required to write it. So that's the reason we are moving to ALV reports, right? Let's go through first what kind of disadvantages here with previous concepts, right? Then how to work, how to overcome with that by using the tool, right? Here, let's go and quickly, so we'll work out interactive line. Let's take it anything, line or command. Sorry, right? So this output still it is not proper, like a lot of gaps, right? Then maybe it is like see, it is not started like this because of the integers are right justified, characters are left justified. All this we adjusted. It's not looks like excel sheet, it's not looks like a column name. After getting the output, user can't be interact with the much more functionalities where we are getting in ALV reports. That's what ALV they maximum, like like hundreds of properties you'll get it. Each case, each row, like there are tools, sorting, filter, summation. If you do summation, filter, you wanted to drag and drop it. I wanted to make it like a logo, so that is not possible like this, for example. So I wanted to put a logo in this corner, like for example, I'm expecting the logo, right? So there is a, so here, right, to do that logo, it is not supports with the normal case. And here I want like some gross weight, net weight, some functions are required, sorting, filters, right? So then you wanted to sum up this, right? You have to write a logic, huge logic you have to write here. So let's say there is a total. So right in this total, so we have to do pretty much like no logic here. That's the reason we wanted to move it to like ALV reports as a tool. Like see that you have to prepare column names like this. So there is a 10, 20, 30, 40 like this order we have to maintain, and with the right statement. Can you believe that there is no right statement in ALV reporting? So then it's a wonder. Then how we are going to print it? There is no loop at itab, there is no loop at itab, there is no right statement. Simply here we have to call the function module, and this function module system will take care of everything. Inside function module, like ABAP side, the code is written by SAP. They are calling that in a list output and etc. like that. Hundreds of features are waiting. That's what ultimately in a real-time case we wanted to work with your reports with ALV reporting. Let's open that record like we can practice before that. All right, so let's conclude some theory topic here. Okay, all right. Here there is, we can also upload the graphics. This set of ALV function is used to enhance the readability and the functionality of any report output. So that's what we wanted to move to ALV. Using that, we can 8 types of ALV reports. There is a simple report, list output, grid output, right? Based on that, there is a block report, hierarchical sequential reports, pop-up, logo header, field catalog, a variety of data. You can present it in a different fashion here. So ultimately, report output we can change it, right? Maybe the data is same, but how we are going to present it very important here. And plus we can also enjoy with here like interactive reports. We can also get it everything properly like this. Okay, so before that, some fundamentals you should understand here. So there is a type pool, SAP standard type pools. For ALV reports there is a SLIS is a type group. Then every type pool it start with a SLIS t underscore layout like that. Everything will work out one by one. Then make sure that type group is available for this list as a predefined example here. If you wish to like type it anything here with work area without header line, so you have to create one internal table, IT field catalog, any name, right? So types list t field cat ALV with header line. Let's say you wanted to create a work area, right? List t field cat ALV work area, have to create it. So what you understood here, like we wanted to create one internal table work area for the field catalog to display the output. When I open this list, there is important attributes we specified, at least minimum 4 5 fields required. That's what column position, field name, tab name, then reference field, reference table, key, hotspot, plenty of options here. But just we give, no need to buy had anything here. Everything you'll get it in a list. If you search it, let's say column position, you will get it all these properties. That's what, don't buy had, don't mug up the things. Always try to understand as a developer where exactly you wanted to apply the thoughts. Like checkbox, let's say justify, my output should be right, left and center justified. I wanted to do sum, like that exactly you wanted to match with the sum. No output, cell text, long text, medium text and short text, all this you can do it. Then that's what options are available like this. As we already discussed here, there are a couple of types, right? Then this and this. And what's the reason I said clearly to that, like move to ALV reports, right? Just now we saw that attributes, right? Before, disadvantage with a classical report, 50% of the time we have to spend with the right tables and the right relationships required. 30% of the time providing that features, sorting total, subtotal, like 20% like this, look pretty, like everything goes like maximum time is wasting to adjust that, like a report output like this. We have to, by seeing this 10, whether it's getting properly or not, 30, 40, like wasting a lot of time to make it as a beautify of the report by using the right statement, the loop, and etc. like this. That's the reason here. So advantage with the latest, at least 50% of the time, just assumption, not exactly like that. Time spent to the right tables and the right relationships here, and preparing the field catalog 8% of the time, just given like a normal case, looks pretty feel like a look like and a feel like column heading, sorting everything like push buttons, and at least you can save a lot of time for the developers, and also user friendly reports will get it for the end users. That's what we wanted to move it. So we understood that there is a lot of properties over there, then we can right. So believe each column we have a lot of properties. Next here we saw the different types of ALVs, right? So there are a couple of types, like here we discussed, right? A simple report, a list and grid is a reports, block report, hierarchical pop-up, all each case there is a one function module. See that there is a list display for if you wish to continue with the list display, grid display, field catalog merge, hierarchical list, commentary right, a block. If exactly this is for block report, and pop up to select and all this, right? So that's the reason here. So remember the function. No need to remember. At least reuse ALV is ready. Then if it is list display, grid display like that. Next, when you call that list display, exactly like when you call function modules in SC38, there are minimum three properties we have to open for this function module. There is a I callback program, for example. So when you call this function module is exporting that result, and your program should import it like that. So that's what rip id is, a system field, report name, or just you can enter name of the program hard coded with a single quotes. Either case you can enter like here. Either you do this or this. Next, field catalog, because ultimately you have to create a individual properties field catalog. Then if it is a table type, that's what you have to work with the body. Then internal table name. So it is like out table, whatever you're getting internal table name you have to enter. So ultimately you will get it. This is the output, right? So you can show that output like this, like see that all the features here. Next, we have a grid, list and grid, but both options like passing the parameters are same, but grid is more flexible compared to list, field catalog, internal tables, right? So in the grid, the push buttons looks like internal, like commands, like I can drag and drop it. A lot of advanced features are available in a grid. That's what we'll work out always in a grid. Okay, let's work out first two reports today, because I said like it will take three to at least minimum 2 to 3 sessions required. Let's go and prepare the report here. SC38, right? I think it's a timeout. Right, so let's open this. All right, so go to SC38. We already done some kind of interactive basic reports and the classical. Just to copy that classical report. All right, I want to include these fields into my Google program current. So go to SC38, right? So here I have to create like a ALV list display. All right, let's click on create. Right, so here you have to write it like ALV list display like this. And I click on this executable program because it's a report program, ultimately type 1 or executable. So click on save it here, then save it here in a package, because we created a package like click on save it, right? So in this case, transport request number is required to create it. Then click on this, like ALV, like any name, ALV list. Click on save it. So click on continue. Right. So create a report. After that, generally I prefer with includes. In include, you have to write a piece of code here. So just to declare. So I have to take it here. Click on create. So there is incl, like include, right? Top include, like all the declarations we preferred with includes. Click on created. Yes, to create include program. So include is created. Click on save it, and you can continue with the same previous request number because it's a dependent task. That's it. Like we did a lot of programs previously. Just I wanted to get it. This executable, right? There is declarations. We have wanted to use it same. So that's what here. Let's continue with the pattern. Right. So sorry, like click on petty printer. It's like this. So Matner MBRSH MTRT means BRGW. Your wish, if you're working with a single table or multiple means, you can bring it here. This is a local structures like a material a number. Like this, we have to maintain like in a real-time case, right? What's the reason you created and all, and comment it. Then internal table, local internal table, type standard table of above work area. So this is just for the variables which I created for normal. Next, ultimately, when you're working with this internal table, so we have to declare some field catalog. To declare the field catalog, right here, slis underscore ALV field catalog property is required, like we already discussed here. So data like IT field cat type slis t field cat ALV with header line. So that's the reason here I have to declare like LT field cat type slis underscore t underscore field cat underscore ALV with header line. Right, so this is a one. So next I wanted to create like this W underscore field cat type slis underscore T underscore field cat ALV with, right, just to declare it here. So with this declaration is done, right, make sure that we wanted to work with this field catalog. Where I'll get it exactly this. You double click on this list T field cat ALV. It goes to like here and a list or else option one. As a trainer, we wanted to show you that multiple option here. So click on this. There is a like a type group here. So select it here, the type group here. List is a type or a type group. Click on display here. Then here ultimately option one, you double click from the program. Option two, so here you'll get it. So right click on this what you want. So next go back here slis like slis t field cat ALV. It refers to one more structure. When I double click here, so there is a include structure, all the properties we're getting from here. Or else if you are in a slis, generally we declare like this, you know type hyphen pool, type pools, right? So here, so there is a slis, you'll get it. Slis is a type pool, right? We are getting from that type pool. That's what it is started with the same name. If I double click on that, I'll come to know the properties from slis. Control F, search it. Let's say call underscore pause. When I click the call pause, here column position, field name, table name, everything we are getting from the main structure. Right. Ultimately, what you do that parallelly, you open one more session here, S11 group to search it in the same call underscore like position, where exactly you can go ahead. with this column position and all like this. Right, so just interact like no activate here. This is like this. That's it. Remember LT tab, W tab, field catalog. Right. With this, I have to build a code. Right. What code I have to do here? So just go through here. Right. We already done a lot of code here. So let's go through the declaration as usual. Same. Right. I want select option. So right. I want like all this basic criteria. Right. So copy here. Just go through here, right, like this. Okay, what I did here, let's explain one by one here. Okay, so simply select options, right, and this select option as smartener for low, because I wanted to set a default. Instead of that, I can work with initialization like a first 100 records or 1,000 records, which one you want here, right? So this is initialization. Then at selection screen, here I'm doing the validation Matner, LV Matner, where exactly if something, right, I wanted to at least if the 1 to 1,000, if the records are presented, you will get like Saisabas equals to 0. Then if it is 0, I wanted to show it like here, there is a error else case like this, right? So this is a message class which we declared. Material font, not font, exactly can work. Material number font from Mara table, and no material font from the Mara table is given range, that is 1. Already done everything here. That's what as a good approach. All the time you have to work with the size of a C in a real-time case. Next, startup selection. If size of us equals to 0, get ALV data. Right, so means I want like get data, like click on this subroutine, select your main program. Then here we are creating the subroutine. So click on here, all right, here get data. Now, right, so because when I'm clicking get data, because we already written that program, right? So just here we have to do, because I wrote the select program, right? Select statement like this, click on pretty printer. So adjust it everything here, right? So all this familiar, right? MBRSH MTRT means into table, right? Getting that into table. Yeah, that's all. With this we are getting data into local internal table. Next, better to save it all the time. Next one, I have to prepare one more subroutine, right? So after startup selection here, right here, so do it one more perform ALV field cat, right? This is ultimate, like preparation of the field cat. Double click on this. Yes, click on yes. Click on main program. Click on yes. At this point, right, I have to declare my work areas which I declared it. The first, let's comment it here, Matner, because my first field is Matner. So we saw that WA field cat. See that tooltip is getting here. Hyphen call underscore pause. Right. Column position equals to 1. I wanted to make it. That's a dot. Next, ultimately, this property is same. Copy here. Next one is, like cell text underscore L is equals to what column name you are expecting here. Material number, like here. So put a dot here. So next, second one, cell text, like there is a position like a field name. So here my field name is Matner. Make it like ALVs, better to make it as a caps, because this should be as it is Matner. The next one here, like here there is a like tab name, right? Which internal table here? Name means what? Here don't give like without single quotes. Here we're expecting the name internal table. So ultimately, like here, better LT underscore caps, right? LT underscore tab is my internal table. That's it. The next append. So right, what append WA underscore field cat. So right, clear. So W underscore field cat. So here I have to append to IT underscore field cat, right? IT underscore, yeah, that is LT underscore field cat. That's it. So I'm appending my first field to my internal table of field catalog. So right, without header, there is has no component. W field catalog. Yeah, prepare. So here the prepare the same for the second field. Just copy paste it so that you can speed up your coding. MBRSH. So second, the properties here, industry sector. Then the field is MBRSH, right? Here MBRSH. Then everything is same. Next, third, fourth, like keep on. You create it one by one. Like next one is MTRT. Just I'm fielding, like no appending the field MTRT. Right. So next third field like this material, right, material type. So the field is here MTRT. The next here the field. What the field here means BRGW and TGW. That's the sequence here. The next one is here MEINS. Right. So next fourth field here like this material. So base UOM unit of measure. So here it should be MEINS. Right. Okay. Sorry. Here. So I change with the third material type. Matner, the first one Matner in MBRS, this should be MTRT. Here we have a field. So right, this one we have to change both. So the next one is here MEINS. So here industry like material base unit of measure. Here means, yeah, that's it. Two more required. Right, so two more. So next fourth is done. The next fifth one. This one is BRGW. This is a fifth option like this. The next we have to put it here, material gross weight. So next here we have to put it BRGW. Right, so let's copy here instead of this. Right, simply can change it with NTGW. Right, so next this is ultimate sixth one, material. Here it is right, net weight. So instead of that BRGW NTGW. That's all. So we as like here preparation of the field cats are done. So save it and activate your program. So right, next ultimate, there is a sequence is very important. Like first query getting the data into internal table. So after that your internal table is passing to the field catalog. We prepared only 4 5 columns here. So ultimately you can do it how many columns you want, like how many properties you want. As per the requirement you can do it. The next perform here, like a perform ALV display, like you can do, right, a display out, like for example like output. So click on this, double click on this display output. So yes, click on here. So creating the main program. So where exactly you want here. So let's delete this. All right. All right. So here what I have to do. I said in ALV there is no loop at tab. There is no write statement here. So ultimate here you have to click up. There is a pattern here. Right, so now we have to work reuse underscore ALV list underscore display. My first example here in this today's training, list output, that's what I wanted to call the list output. See that exactly the function is calling here. Then open this exporting, right? Then only can pass all these parameters. There is a callback program. Here two options. You can also copy your program name and put it here, or without this syrip ID, without single quotes. And we are getting the data into like LT field catalog. So this LT field catalog, so first you pass it LT underscore tab because this is your internal table. What is that? Because I'm getting data into my local internal table, right? Where exactly? That's what here expecting first mandatory table. I'm getting data into my internal table. The next one here, there is a field catalog, right? Click on this, and this is your internal table of field catalog. Only three things. See that. One is callback program, the next one is field catalog, the next one is internal table. That's it. With this, your list output is ready. Click on this, continue, execute here. So exactly like here. So 1 to 100, right? You're getting, see that ultimate. So right. So this is properties after getting the output. Lot of functions here. For example, let's continue with 1 to 100, less number of records, and I'll show you exactly here. Now I have to use my application here to be total, right? I wanted to, like use this sigma button here. When I do that sigma on a particular gross weight, like here, so select it, right? If I select this particular column that highlighted, so click on this sigma button. Look at, there is a total subtotals of fetching here. So ultimately here, so this portion is your total, right? So that's what the flexible. What's flexible here? We have not written any piece of code for this. This is what ALV is a tool. What I said, ALV is a tool. Look at here, lot of options as an inbuilt tool you're getting. You can also do that sort and filters. Like for example here, material number you wanted to descending exactly. See, after getting the output, like industry sector, you wanted to make it a filter like here. So you can make it as a filter. Like remember, you're getting filter from your output. Don't expect the filter options only two from the table, because ultimately I got the data from the my table only two. That's the reason the filter options from not from the database, from your output fields. Let's select it. You want only related one. Selected this filter, click continue here. At this point, you're getting only one option, right? So this is a lot of options are provided. So right, so clear it. So you can work like similarly here. So there is a you know grid display also can focus, which we did with the list, right? I'll show you the grid exactly in the same report, right? Yeah, do you have any questions? Please welcome everyone. Yes, Lena.
So far, not. No.
Yes. Let's continue with the next list display we did. We wanted to continue with the grid. So before grid, how simple, like you're not using all this option, just you delete. That's what it's called as a dead code. Dead code, right? Dead code means like which is not something you're not using, then remove that. Then simply you just delete this. Of course, you want in a later in a real-time case, again you have to call your function module, right? That's be careful. Leave it like this. Okay. And if you wish to pass exception handling, is ultimate to do that. Just activate here, click on continue. Right. So we did with the list. Let's comment. Everything is same. right? Ultimately I have to get it like a grid display, and instead of calling this list function module, I have to call it my grid display function. Click on button. Yes, click on button here. So then here instead of list there is option called grid display. Click on continue here. Look at complete function is loaded as we already discussed here. Again same properties here. This time I wanted to give it like a rip id. Right, previous example I did with like a hard coded, right, hard coded the name of the, one second. Right, so we hard coded copy pasted, right, and just above here itself. First option I showed. The second option is rip id. The next I don't require all this, or else leave it, or else leave it. The next field catalog, same property here. Copy that LT, like here there is a field catalog which something we appended. So that's what here there is a field catalog. The next ultimate here we have one internal table, that is LT local tab where I'm getting the data. That's it. That's it. With this, the second report is a grid display is ready. Just save and activate here, then click on execute. So of course we can change with the text elements, and let's introduce with the execute with the 1 to 100 records. Look at what's the different you observed in a list display. It expand everything automatically, whereas in grid display, right, for example, and the declaration time, in the declaration time you have done with order like 5 6 7 like this. I can also choose like directly seventh position or like my third position. That is a dynamic, exactly it will print in the third or fourth column which you selected here. But here instead of that, what I'll do that, click on, after getting the output also user can interact with it dynamically. What is dynamic here? Look at execute. I wanted to drag and drop it. There is a facility here. For example, you treat after material, just double click. It is resizing the properties. That's like this. Okay. Next, I thought like my material should be taken as in a second position material unit of measure, then industry sector here. Let's select it, hold it, and just drag and drop it here. See that how ultimate here. This is one. Next, I wanted to make it summation. Click here, like done. Then I wanted to make it subtotal, like each individual material you wanted to make it subtotal. Then you can do it like on material there is a subtotal, like ultimate here, but right now there is no proper data here. That's what you can. Next, this one here, let's for example we did like this. I wanted to download this everything in my local Excel sheet or a spreadsheet in my PC. Then how to do that? Okay, so this uh, for this you are not writing any piece of code here. Then there is option here. So with that option, so here you have to select it. There is a local spreadsheet. Click on this icon, and there is a spreadsheet here. Click on continue. So ultimate here, it is in my desktop. C user Upendar Reddy SAP work directory. So you can also select it where exactly it is, right? Instead of that I wanted to select it in my desktop. Like click on this, right, click on save it. I wanted to just show it in desktop, and ultimate you can select it ALV, right? Let LV material report. So in a text you want or in a different format you want, click on generate. When you click generate, the bytes are transferred here. Clearly you can observe, right? There is option here. The bytes are transferred, right? So ultimate. Just open your desktop. See that there is a ALV output. It is waiting at your desktop. See how simple, awesome. right? So this is what like ALV with, you know, right, providing that kind of features, right? Because we did like a subtotal here, and if you wish to like, you know, download with the proper without subtotal, with subtotal, everything you'll get it ultimate. You can also do it in Excel sheet, so you can work with that. Yeah, that's it with the first option, and plenty of options you can show here. So right, you know, graphical views, and you can also bring it column names, right? A current layout, how many fields you want, like you want the summation here like this, and a continue here. You wanted to change the layouts, you can change it, right? And how to change this, like, you know, text element. So go to here, there is a text element, so click on selection text. Here I have to change it. So this end user cannot understand what exactly that's what I changed with the material number. Click on continue here and activate, come back here. Then so like this you have to show your report, and in a real-time case everything like coding standards you have to maintain. That's what we did with the events properly. Then ultimately like before like get data, we are working with the size-of-a-c. At each case when you work with the size-of-a-c's, you have to handle properly like this. Okay, right? So this you can make it. All right, so all right, like dead codes you can delete it. Next one here, uh, some more properties will work. I don't want to ultimately give the output at this point itself. F underscore field cat, there is a do underscore sum. If I do the sum, it will sum automatically. Then how to do that? Capital X is nothing but to activate. From where I'll get it here? We already opened that SC11. There is a type group, correct? And this control F, then do underscore sum is a property here, right? Where exactly you done with the column position, field name, tab name, and then I have used with the cell text L. It's nothing but long text. See that, see that, see that. Long text, long text. If you wish to go to this, then here you will get it maximum 40 characters. That's what, if you wish to continue 30, 20 characters, 10 characters, accordingly you have to do that. Next, do sum, like here it is awesome, like it will print automatically summation. And then here, for example, you wanted to make it edit mask. There is like no, like emphasize edit mask for the edit. Like here, no zeros. The client is asking like material number. I don't want. Like look at first output, because I have not activated. Click on activate first, execute it here, then material number is changed, right? Then execute here. I am getting the summation automatically. So far it is a colorful, sorry, it's not a colorful black and white. You wanted to make it colorful, then use ultimate like emphasize. Then I don't want zeros in a material number. That's what here the property, just you copy here like property. There is like no underscore zero. Then put it X. What is X? I said to activate. No zeros. The next will work out. There is emphasize. Emphasize here. C indicates a color. Which color you're working? Let's go through some theory topic. Let's explain here what exactly emphasize here. To given a color for output and a field cat, emphasize a property. C is a constant, it's a color name. X is like, you know, which color you wanted to use. Y it is nothing but intensity, and a Z is nothing but inverse. The last two cases you can give 0 or 1. 0 means off, 1 means on. And the number of which color, like that color X place, it shows like which color you wanted to pick it. Look at here, C is the first color 111. What is that? Bold in intensity, like inverse, and everything is on. The next one here, so ultimate here. So I wanted to go at with a fourth color, like any color. Here I'll put it 0. The next here, we'll make it emphasize here with the color 7, right? Like 00 something. Right, you can give any colors, like leave it same color. You wish to continue with next 7 colors, like ultimate here. I wanted to give like a color 4 or 5 something. That's all. You apply the colors like this. Hundreds of properties are waiting as per the requirement. You have to handle it. Activate here. Alright, so execute here. So click on continue with the material number. See that colorful output and no zeros, and ultimately like as automatic sum, right? Summation is also done automatically. All this is like a tool. That's what ALV is, a reporting tool, right? Ultimate. So like a lot of features I read it. So just we did with two things, right? Only today we saw that two, like list and grid. The next will show you a lot of other properties how to do with sorting, layouts, like grid title also can put it, like hard coded title, anything, material master info, something like that. Then you'll get it grid title. So execute here and execute here. Here you're getting grid title, right? Right, like this. Right, a lot of properties. Every property can utilize it. Sorting, filters, save options like variants. So we'll work out one by one. Right. So it's a now. Do you have any doubts? Please welcome one by one. Any questions? Anyone, please?
No.
Okay, that's okay. Great. Hope you understood properly.
Yes.
All right. So when you're working with in a real-time case, I already said that if you're not using, please do not leave it as it is, like a lazy programmer like this. And ultimately, you have to do like this if you wish to continue, right? Delete the dead code before submitting this from the development to quality system, or whether where you're using that in a sandbox, wherever, because you should be a good programmer. Ultimately you have to check each case size versus and all. That's what we maintain. Then see that, then see that, like this is what only we have given that properties, right? Let's activate here and challenging that. That's what day one we are working with all coding standards. I hope, because it is an includes like everything, like a declaration part, a local type standard. We never wrote echo zero and all concepts and includes. Then ultimately we're using initialization. Then each case we have handled the size of verses, error handling we have done with the messages, right? Then start of selection, each case done with the size of verse here. Then ALV fields and also working with the work areas appending to the field, and after that clearing each command. Ultimate, your report should be like that. Then I'm using performance tuning now. Go to EPC check, extended program check, and by seeing this, look at here, awesome that there is no errors, everything is done perfectly. That's what in a real-time case. And as a good programmer, ultimate, you should be error-free programs, zero errors. Warnings, of course, we have to handle. Like any warnings, also you can leave it. Sometimes you can handle. So right, because field attributes, there is a currency conversion, something you are getting warnings. This we have to handle. Like this, you are a good programmer. So right, should be always at a good and a handover to good coding skills, good programmer. Ultimately, you're not wasting your end user time. What is that? If I am the end user, if I'm going to run this, then I don't want to waste my time, because if I see that it is taking 1 minute, go and have the coffee and come back, that's not an issue, right? So then I can see the output. And then again, I'll go back and run this in the background or something, have a lunch and come back. Not like that. Not like that. So ultimately, you may lose a like projects as per the requirements, like deadlines, and a server side should not be a buffer. Your code should not take a longer time to hit your database. Quickly hit and come back and fetch it into table like that. So that's all. All right. So today's what we have done with ALV reports, and see you tomorrow, like next session with remaining topics which we wanted to continue with the blog, hierarchical and all. So till that time, so bye all of you, signing off.